Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're going to be solving a problem pertaining to solving for area. And it goes a little bit like this. It says, Sebastian had a rectangular piece of paper that was 90 millimeters long and 50 millimeters wide. He cut the paper in half. What is the area of each half of the paper in square millimeters? So what I'm going to go ahead and do for step one is I'm going to go ahead and organize all of the information by drawing a visual. So it says it's a rectangular piece of paper. So in my step one, I'm going to go ahead and draw a visual of a rectangular piece of paper. Doesn't have to be that crazy, just a regular rectangle. And it says that was 90 millimeters long. So right here, I'm going to go ahead and put 90 millimeters long. So is it okay if I put mm? That signifies millimeters. So then we have 50 millimeters wide. So on the side, 50 millimeters wide. He cut the paper in half. Okay. So let's go ahead and do like a little cut. He cut the paper in half. What is the area of each half of the paper in square millimeters? So they only want to know what is the area of one of the sides. Okay. Now, for step two, how can I figure out what is the half? They don't necessarily want to cut it this way, they just want to cut it vertically. So how can I figure out what's the half of 90? I want to cut 90 in half. So basically over here, in step two, I just want the half. I just want half of it. Half. So how can I figure out what's the half of 90? What about if I divide it by 2, because it'll give me 2 equal parts. I'll do that. So I'll do 90 using window pane divided by 2. So 2 times what can give me 9? I'm going to go ahead and let you solve it on the side, and I'll give you some time. Okay, did you guys get 45? Did you guys do 2 times 4 gives you 8, subtract, it gives you 1, bring up the 1, 2 times what can give me 10? 5, subtract, and you're left with 0. Okay? So now that we know that our top part, our length, half of our length is 45, we can keep the 50 millimeters the same over here. Now we're ready to find the area of the half. Our dimensions are going to be 45 millimeters times 50 millimeters. And you might be asking yourself, hey, where is Mr. Medina getting that formula? Why does he know that it's multiplication for area? If you remember, if you go back to your star reference charts, guys, it actually gives you the answer. Area of a rectangle is going to be area equals length times width. And if you don't know what the L stands for, L is for length, and the W is times width. So now that we have the formula, area equals length times width, let's go ahead and apply it in step 3. So I'm going to go ahead and put my formula that I found on my reference chart, or my math chart, or my best friend. Area equals length times width. Okay, so we know that our length is 45, so I'm going to go ahead and plug that in. 45 millimeters, mm, times the width. So our width remained the same, 50 millimeters. Okay, so basically all I have to do now is multiply 45 times 50. And I'm going to go ahead and do that 2 ways. I'm going to go ahead and do standard algorithm, and I'm going to do area model, just in case you are not confident or feel comfortable with it yet. Okay? We know how to multiply. So let's go ahead and try 45 times 50 using area model. These are my favorite. So if you remember, we have to decompose the 45 into 40 and 5, and then 50 into 50 and 0. And some students like to put 50 and 0 on this side as well, just so they can see what they're multiplying by. Okay. And there's nothing really here. I'll just give it some space. Okay. We should have just left that empty. Okay, so here we go. 40 times 50. 40 times 50 equals 0 row. 4 times 5, 2,000. And then 5 times 50, 0 row, 25. And then 40 times 0, of course, is 0. 5 times 0 is 0. So all that we have to do now is add our partial products, which are 2,000 and 2,050. But if you know how to work with expanded form, you know that the answer is 2,250 already. However, just in case you need to see that, I'll have it right here. 250. 0 plus 0, 0. 0 plus 5, 5. 0 plus 2, 2. And then just bring down the 2. So that's going to be the area of half of the sheet. If we go back, the area would be of half of this sheet. Okay. However, let me go back just in case you are not wanting to work it out this way, but you're feeling more comfortable with standard algorithm. Let's go ahead and go for it. 45 times 50. 0 times 5 gives us 0. 0 times 4 gives us 0. Because we are now done with our ones place and now moving to the tens place, it is necessary to always put your 0. I would normally put it for a happy face so you can remember it. Alrighty, and now let's start with our tens and go to our ones. 5 times 5 is 25. Put a 5 here. Regroup the 2. 5 times 4 is 20 plus 2 is 22. Now we add 0 plus 0, 0, 0 plus 5, 5, 2, and then the 2. Okay? So your answer is still the same. So the area of half of the sheet of paper, when they cut it, is 2,250. So I'm going to go ahead and put area. And because area is calculating the square units inside of a figure, we have to put square units. But we're not going to put units because we know the units. The unit is millimeters. So I'm going to put square millimeters. And that is your answer right there. You guys just solved this bad boy. Okay? Very simple. If you have any questions, make sure to write them down and ask one of us.